What's good? What's good? Today is Friday. It's January 23rd, 2026. And right now, I'm going to do a quick breakdown on a couple instruments right now. I'm going to do Nasdaq, ideally SPX, and maybe gold. But let's go ahead and get straight into it. So, of course, I'm looking at candlesticks, but I'm going to do my breakdown on primarily on the Rinkos, just so you can get an idea of exactly what I've seen. So, of course, I had structure flowing to the downside, high, low, lower, low, lower high, equal low right here. And even though it gave me one Rinko below this one, this doesn't it doesn't hit the criteria that I need to be a valid lower low. Again, I need two Rinkos to go below or two Rinkos to go above. So this is an equal low and this is an equal high. Came back down again, gave us a higher low right there, and then boom, once it broke above this swing point right here at 25,300, our bias was bullish, right? So cool. This line right here, this box is a fair value gap from the candlesticks, and so I'm going to show you exactly where I got that from. And it's this gap right here. Let me see if I can delete this real quick. So this gap right here is what I use, and as you can see, it's pretty much it has been holding, and price is shooting to the upside. Now granted, this is from last night. It did break to the downside, but like I said, my bias overall is to the upside, so that fair value gap is still technically holding true for me. And then all I did after that was, again, I'm going to divide my my Renko scales, right? So I have the 4 hour is equivalent to the 50 scale is equivalent to the 4 hour. So I'm going to divide this by 4, and I'm going to use 12.5, and this is the 5 minute, 2 to 5 minute equivalent. So I pretty much just did the same thing. I'm going to draw my structure from this point here. I got a low, I got a high, I got a higher low, broke to the upside, I got a higher high, I got a higher low here, lower high, equal high right here, equal low right there, then boom, it broke to the upside. This was on the end of, well, actually this was early yesterday, but it broke above that point there. It gave us a nice indication, and all it did was correct right back down into this area of interest right here. So I had one here, and I had one at the very bottom, which price did, what did it do? It came down and tested this, but did not go below it. So this is my setup. Let me go ahead and just maximize that for you. And then boom, if we just solely focus on what that lower time frame looks like, this is what it looks like. Like I said, it broke to the upside, gave us a nice indication, nice correction there, and then boom, entry could have been right here after we got two Rinkos going up, and that would have been fine. Went in profit a little bit, came back down, it hit that lower area of interest down at the bottom, and like I said, you know, this was pretty much yesterday, but it played out, it's playing out today. Looks like we are back in profit, and that's pretty much it for Nasdaq right now. Let's go ahead and go over to SPX real quick, right? So again, this is how my candlesticks look, but let's break this down on Rinkos just so you can see exactly what I've seen. So again, pretty much the same way. I had market pretty much flowing to the downside, high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then it came up and made an equal high right here. And then it rejected, came back down and made a higher low there, and then boom, once it broke above this 68.70 price level, that was resistance at one point, my bias became bullish. And so again, all I'm doing is drawing these areas of interest from my swing points. So as you can see, every swing point I can draw a zone or area of interest, right? And so this one, all I do is draw it out, and that became my my zone right there, and price has been pretty much respecting it. So that's it for the 4 hour time frame. And on this one, I'm using the 10 scale for the 4 hour, and again, just divide that by 4. I'm going to use 2.5 instead of what I have, 12.5 on Nasdaq. And so let's go to the 4 hour real quick. Let's see if we had a fair value gap or anything, which we did. I don't think it was necessary because I already have an area of interest right there, but we also had this fair value gap right there, pretty much the same one as Nasdaq, right? Cool. But like I said, price broke above this this swing point right here. It was bullish. It broke above that zone, came back down and tested that support. Looks like it's playing out pretty good. And so now, as I go down to the 5 minute, this is how it looks on the candlesticks. But let's go ahead and break this down on Rinkos first. Let's do this right here. So pretty much same scenario. What am I going to do? I'm going to just get my structure. I got a low point, I got a high point, higher low, higher high, broke to the upside, higher low, higher high, swung to the downside right here. Then boom, once I got two Rinkos above this red line, I'm bullish again, And all I'm gonna do is wait for price to come back down to my area interest right here. And I could have entered again at 230, but I was already in the same position from 9 a.m. yesterday. So all I did was, like I said, protect my stop loss, put it at the last swing point, which is down here, or I could have just put it slightly below this swing point. But either one is fine. I just chose the more conservative route, and that's pretty much my analysis for SPX as well. Like I said, and I'm targeting the next zone up here, which is around 69.80. This is about 1 to 3 risk reward ratio setup, and right now it looks like we are back in profit. We went in profit on yesterday, but we seen that profit doing the right back down to break even. And as far as rules, like I do talk about rules. One of mine personally, what I like to do as far as risk management, once price hits my 50% mark of this setup, I want to move my stop loss to break even, right? That's what I want to do. And then once price hits my 75% mark, 75 or 80, so anywhere between, like I said, 75 or 80, I have another alert that'll go off to tell me I can then move my stop loss to the 50% mark. And if it retraces and takes me out, that's completely fine, but I'm gonna leave with some profit compared to not having anything at all at the end of the day. So that's my analysis for Nasdaq and for SPX. And right now, let's see, we might be able to take a look at gold real quick. Let's see what we have. Let me get out of that one. And so again, this one is probably easy as well. Pretty much the same scale, 4 hours. I'm going to use 10. So SPX and gold have the same scales as far as wrinkles, but I've clearly been on the uptrend. Made a higher high right here, came down, I made a higher low, lower high here, higher low, and then it broke to the upside. Once it broke 48.30, I knew I was going bullish again. Perfectly fine. It made a higher low on this morning, but what are we gonna do? We're still gonna look for we're gonna look on the candlesticks and see if we have any type of fair value gap, right? If we don't have it on the swing point, we're gonna check the candlesticks for a if we don't have area interest from the swing points, we're going to check the candlesticks for a fair value gap, and this is exactly what I had. It was holding that support and still holding that support right now, so that lets me know that everything is still working out and holding. And again, all I'm going to do is go to that lower time frame, and I'm going to use the 5 right here. You can see a low. Let me just click that. Low, high, equal low, higher high. Once it broke this right here, boom, indication, correction down here. I have a fair value gap on the 5. It hit that, respected it. Could have entered last night if you were awake. That's a 5 a.m. Entry right there. Perfectly fine if you weren't, because I wasn't. But it broke again to the upside, gave us a nice indication, gave us a correction right here to another fair value gap. This would have been a 730, 735 entry right here. Put the stop loss at the area entries below it or all the way at the bottom. Go for a nice 1 to 2, 1 to 3 risk reward ratio right there, and be out of this trade book. And only I say a set risk reward because we don't have any structure above us to say, hey, we're gonna go for the next zone. So that's my breakdown for gold as well, and this is how it looks on those wrinkles. Again, very easy to spot my swing points using these wrinkles compared to my candlesticks. Now this is easy, but every chart, every setup won't always look as clear as this. That's why I use wrinkles. Again, I need 4 wrinkles in a certain direction for a swing point to be valid, not 3. Like this is 3 wrinkles right here. So this black wrinkle right here would not be a swing point, and this won't be a swing point. I need 4. So this is my high, this is my equal low. Again, I need 2 to go below it. So it broke above it, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, got an entry, and we're good. But that's my analysis for Nasdaq, for gold, and for SPX. Today is Friday, and I'll check back on these probably at the end of the day or going into next week just to see where price actually finished for these setups. So peace.